and welcome to Quiz Time. My name is Anne and I will be your host for this quiz about the 1950s and the 1960s. Good luck! What did Le Corbusier famously contribute to in the late 1950s, which influenced urban planning and architecture, the design of Brasilia, the Pompidou Center, or the concept of Radiant City? The concept of Radiant City. The Sydney Opera House was designed by which architect? Frank Gehry, Eero Saarinen, or Jorn Utzon? Jorn Utzon. Which music genre gained significant popularity in the 1950s with artists like Chuck Berry and Little Richard? Rock and roll, jazz, or blues? Rock and roll. The Beatles' album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is often credited with pioneering multi-track recording. True or false? True. What was the primary function of the ENIAC? Military calculations, weather forecasting, or scientific research? Military calculations. The first commercially available video game, released in the 1960s, was developed by which company? Atari, Magnavox, or IBM? Magnavox. Which actress became an iconic symbol of the 1950s, known for her role in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes? Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, or Elizabeth Taylor? Marilyn Monroe. James Dean starred in how many major films before his untimely death in 1955? 5, 3, or 7? 3. What fast food chain was founded in 1955 in Des Plaines, Illinois? Burger King, Wendy's, or McDonald's? McDonald's. Fondue, a dish that became popular in the 1960s, originated in which European country? Switzerland. The 1960s saw the introduction of a popular sweet treat known as Pop Rocks. What was unique about this candy? It fizzed and popped in the mouth. Which iconic event in 1963, led by Martin Luther King Jr., became a pivotal moment in the American Civil Rights Movement? The Selma March, the March on Washington, or the Birmingham Campaign? The March on Washington. The twist dance craze was popularized by which artist's song? Chubby Checker, Little Richard, or Elvis Presley? Chubby Checker. Which British TV show, debuting in 1963, has become one of the longest-running sci-fi series in history? The Twilight Zone, Doctor Who, or Star Trek? Doctor Who. Which song by Bob Dylan became an anthem of the civil rights movement? Blowing in the Wind, Like a Rolling Stone, or The Times They Are Changing? Like a Rolling Stone. Which famous jazz musician collaborated with arranger Gil Evans on the influential 1960 album Sketches of Spain? John Coltrane, Louis Armstrong, or Miles Davis? Miles Davis. Elvis Presley made his television debut on which program with his performance of Heartbreak Hotel in 1956? The Ed Sullivan Show, The Milton Berle Show, or American Bandstand? The Milton Berle Show. Which invention revolutionized the music industry by allowing for the mass production of affordable audio recordings? The 8-track tape, the vinyl record, or the compact cassette? The compact cassette. What television series, debuting in 1951, became one of the first sitcoms to be filmed before a live studio audience and starred Lucille Ball? I Love Lucy. The hula hoop was first mass-produced by which American company? Mattel, Wham-O, or Hasbro? Wham-O. Which photographer captured the famous image of Che Guevara? Henri Cartier-Bresson, Alberto Korda, or Robert Capa? Alberto Korda. The television program Sesame Street debuted in 1969 and was groundbreaking for what reason? It combined education with entertainment. What type of car was introduced by Ford in 1964? The Mustang, Corvette, or Camaro? The Mustang. The Barbie doll was created by which company? Fisher-Price, Lego, or Mattel? Mattel. The 1960s television series Star Trek is credited with inspiring which piece of real-world technology? The microwave oven, the smartphone, or the credit card? The smartphone. The peace symbol, created in 1958, originally represented what cause? Nuclear disarmament. In the 1960s, who designed the iconic love sculpture? Robert Indiana, Roy Lichtenstein, or Claes Oldenburg? Robert Indiana. The 1960s Motown group, known for hits like My Girl, was called what? The Four Ups, The Temptations, or The Supremes? The Temptations. Which electronic album featured synthesizer versions of classical compositions? Switched on Bach, The Electric Prunes, or Rainbow in Curved Air? Switched on Bach. The black box flight recorder was invented by which Australian scientist in the late 1950s? David Warren. Which iconic song by the Rolling Stones expresses dissatisfaction with commercialism? Painted Black, Gimme Shelter, or Satisfaction? Satisfaction. The Beatles' final live performance took place on the rooftop of which building? Abbey Road Studios, the BBC Broadcasting House, or the Apple Corps headquarters? The Apple Corps headquarters. The first practical solar cell was developed in the 1950s by which company? Bell Labs, General Electric, or IBM? Bell Labs. The development of which programming language laid the foundation for modern computing? COBOL, Fortran, or BASIC? Fortran. The hovercraft was first successfully developed by which British engineer? Frank Whittle, Christopher Cockerell, or Barnes Wallis? Christopher Cockerell. Which actor became a household name for his role as Atticus Finch in the film To Kill a Mockingbird? Cary Grant, James Stewart, or Gregory Peck? Gregory Peck. The introduction of Tang became popularized when it was used by which organization? The NASA, the US military, or the Peace Corps? NASA. Which 1950s board game is based on the concept of property trading? Risk, Monopoly, or Clue? Monopoly. The British invasion of the 1960s was primarily led by which band? The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, or The Who? The Beatles. Which 1960s TV show featured a family of monsters living at 1313 Mockingbird Lane? The Addams Family, The Monsters, or Bewitched? The Monsters. The Suez Crisis significantly impacted which global industry? Textile manufacturing, automobile production, or oil transportation? Oil transportation. The jet age revolutionized global travel with introduction of which aircraft? Boeing 707. Which sculptor was known for his large-scale outdoor earthworks? Christo and Jean-Claude, Robert Smithson, or Isamu Noguchi? Robert Smithson. Which German artist, associated with the Bauhaus school, became known for his abstract, geometric paintings in the 1950s? B. Joseph Albers. Which album by the Beach Boys is often hailed as one of the greatest history? Surfin' USA, Pet Sounds, or Endless Summer? Pet Sounds. What device, introduced in the late 1960s, allowed users to create copies of documents quickly and easily? The photocopier. Which legendary musician was known as the King of Pop? Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, or Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson. Which cocktail, popularized in the 1960s, consists of vodka, tomato juice, and various spices? Bloody Mary, the margarita, or the martini? The Bloody Mary. The 1960s fashion scene was heavily influenced by which British model, often credited with popularizing the mod look? Jean Shrimpton, Twiggy, or Mary Quant? Twiggy. What sporting event, first broadcast on television in 1954, significantly increased the popularity of the sport it featured? The Super Bowl. Which British band released the anthem My Generation in 1965? The Animals, The Kinks, or The Who? The Who. The first compact disc was developed as a digital storage medium by which technology company? Sony, Philips, or RCA? Philips. Which famous sculpture by Alexander Calder is known for its large, abstract, and moving parts? Mobile, stabile, or kinetic art? Mobile. What 1950s science fiction film, featuring a giant monster awakened by nuclear tests, became a metaphor for post-war fears? Godzilla. Which publication is credited with sparking the environmental movement through its critique of pesticide use? The Population Bomb, Silent Spring, or The Limits to Growth? Silent Spring. The hit Respect was performed by which artist? Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, or Aretha Franklin? Aretha Franklin. The Super Bowl was made from which synthetic material? Polyurethane, Zectron, or rubber? Zectron. Which literary movement emphasized spontaneous creativity and nonconformity? The Lost Generation, the Harlem Renaissance, or the Beat Generation? The Beat Generation. Which rock band formed in the 1960s is known for pioneering the heavy metal genre with albums like Paranoid? Black Sabbath. Which medical device allows doctors to see inside the human body without surgery? The X-ray machine, MRI scanner, or CT scanner? CT scanner. Which jazz album, released by Miles Davis, is often cited as one of the greatest jazz records of all time? A Love Supreme, Kind of Blue, or Time Out? Kind of Blue. Which invention, by Douglas Engelbart in 1964, revolutionized how people interacted with computers? The computer mouse, the GUI, or the keyboard? The computer mouse. Which actress became a global icon after starring in the 1955 film The 7-Year Itch? Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe, or Elizabeth Taylor? Marilyn Monroe. Which TV show popularized the phrase "sock it to me"? The Ed Sullivan Show, The Tonight Show, or Laugh-In? Laugh-In. Which food innovation, introduced by McDonald's in 1968, became one of their most famous menu items? The Big Mac. Which structure serves as a museum for modern art and features an industrial design with exposed pipes and ducts? Le Centre Pompidou, le Musée d'Orsay, or the Louvre Pyramid? Le Centre Pompidou. Which invention revolutionized communication by allowing the transmission of data through light signals? The transistor, laser, or fiber optics? Fiber optics. Which electronics brand, founded in 1958, became known for its innovative and stylish radios and televisions? Bang & Olufsen, Sony, or Panasonic? Bang & Olufsen. Which American actor, known for his intense performances and method acting, starred in films like On the Waterfront and The Godfather? Marlon Brando. Which 1960s icon was known as the King of Cool and starred in films like Bullitt? James Coburn, Stephen McQueen, or Clint Eastwood? Steve McQueen. Which fast food chain, founded in 1962, became known for its Mexican-inspired menu items? Del Taco, Chipotle, or Taco Bell? Taco Bell. What iconic 1960s dessert, known for its layers of cake, ice cream, and meringue, is flambéed before serving? Baked Alaska. Which female folk singer-songwriter is known for songs like Both Sides Now and Big Yellow Taxi? Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell, or Judy Collins? Joni Mitchell. Which girl group, known for its hits like Be My Baby, was a defining act of the early 1960s? The Supremes, the Ronettes, or the Shirelles? The Ronettes. What famous art heist took place in 1969 when a painting by Rembrandt was stolen from the Dulwich Picture Gallery in London? The Portrait of Jacob the Gain 3. Which animated TV show featuring a family from the future debuted in 1962? The Jetsons, the Flintstones, or Scooby-Doo? The Jetsons. Which food item, introduced in 1965 by General Mills, became a popular breakfast choice for children? Pop-Tarts, Eggo waffles, or Lucky Charms? Pop-Tarts. Which 1968 album by Simon and Garfunkel, featuring the hit song Mrs. Robinson, became one of their most successful releases? Bookends. Which frozen dessert invented by John Harris in 1965 was marketed as ice cream of the future? Ice Pops, Dippin' Dots, or Choco Tacos? Dippin' Dots. Which television series featured secret agent Napoleon Solo? Mission Impossible, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., or The Avengers? The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Which British singer-songwriter became known as the godfather of folk rock? Cat Stevens, Donovan, or Leonard Cohen? Donovan. Which 1960s counterculture icon starred in the film Easy Rider, which became a symbol of the freedom and rebellion of the era? Peter Fonda. Which candy became famous for its slogan, "Melt in your mouth, not in your hand"? Skittles, Smarties, or M&M's? M&M's. Which type of sandwich, often made with grilled cheese and ham, became a popular comfort food? The Monte Cristo, Reuben, or BLT? The Monte Cristo. Which artist known for her large-scale paintings of flowers and southwestern landscapes was still actively creating art in the 1950s and 1960s? Frida Kahlo, Lee Krasner, or Georgia O'Keeffe? Georgia O'Keeffe. What science fiction novel, published in 1965 by Frank Herbert, became one of the best-selling science fiction books of all time and was later adapted into films? Dune. Which iconic amusement park opened in 1955 in California? Walt Disney World, Disneyland, or Universal Studios? Disneyland. The Ding Dong dessert treat was introduced by Hostess in 1967. True or false? True. What technological device became essential for long-distance communication and was the precursor to modern fiber optics? Coaxial cable. Which New York City skyscraper was known for its distinct triangular shape? The Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, or the Citigroup Center? The Citigroup Center. Which singer, known for a 1964 hit, You Don't Own Me, became a leading voice in the feminist and civil rights movement? Dusty Springfield, Leslie Gore, or Petula Clark? Leslie Gore. Which British rock band released the influential 1966 album Fresh Cream? Cream, the Yardbirds, or the Rolling Stones? Cream. Which communication device became a popular tool for amateur radio enthusiasts? Walkie-talkie, satellite phone, or CB radio? CB radio. Which British band gained fame with hits like Wishing Well and The Weight? The Kinks, the band, or the Yardbirds? The band. What 1960s TV show popularized the use of a certain type of portable grill, leading to widespread backyard cooking? The Galloping Gourmet. Which revolutionary personal computer was one of the earliest commercially successful microcomputers? Altair 8800, Apple II, a Commodore PET? Altair 8800. Which portable electronic device was one of the first widely available transistor radios? Zenith Transoceanic, Sony TR-63, RCA Victor Transistor? Sony TR-63. Which invention allowed for the development of compact, reliable electronic devices, becoming a key component in modern electronics? Integrated circuit, transistor, or vacuum tube? Integrated circuit. During the Cold War, the closest the world came to nuclear conflict was during which 1962 event? The Berlin Airlift, the Korean War, or the Cuban Missile Crisis? The Cuban Missile Crisis. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was designed to end discrimination based on what? Race, religion, sex, or national origin? Thank you for playing. Drop your score in the comments and please like and subscribe if you want to be notified every time we post a new video. And have more fun on quiz time.